Okay, I have a new effect to share with you today. Now for this, you need 4 piles of 8 cards each. Okay, so 4 piles of 8. Okay, and I'll just give the cards a good mix. Maybe one more riffle shuffle should do. Okay, very good. Making a mess of things here. So what I'll do is I'll see 4 piles of 8 each. Okay, so we'll just deal those out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're making quite a mess over here. So sorry about that. Gather these up. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the top card, the name of it, to mix each packet independently. Okay. So what we'll do first is just kind of reveal what cards have been brought to the top. And these are random cards. Okay, so that's not a fib. These are randomly arrived at cards. So what I'm going to do is, for each of these, like the Queen of Diamonds, I'm just going to spell that full name, Queen of Diamonds. So QUEENOFDIAMONDS, Queen of Diamonds. Really making a mess here. Let's see, Ace of Hearts. ACEOFHEARTS. Okay, so Ace of Hearts. 10 of Clubs. TENOFCLUBS. 10 of Clubs. And then finally the 9 of Spades. Okay, NINEOFSPADES. Okay, whoa. Now I need you to point to any one of the 4 piles because we're going to randomly stack them. Top right, bottom left next, okay? Top left, then bottom right. Okay, now we're going to cut the packet in half, so essentially we're going to eliminate half these cards. And we'll do that by flipping half of them face up. Okay, so I'm going to do like up and then down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, very good. So these are going to be tossed aside. Okay. Now that's not the only way to cut a packet in half. Another way is to use something called an up jog. Have you seen this before? So what I'm doing is I'm jogging forward or up the even position cards. So these are cards in positions 2, 4, 6, 8, and so forth. Okay, so we'll put the even positions on the left, the odd on the right. And then we'll do that one more time because we're hoping for 4 piles of 4 cards each. Okay, so we'll do the same sort of thing. Jog the even position cards up. Set those aside as 1 pile and then the remaining cards as a second pile. Same thing here. Even position cards get jogged up. Strip those out, set them down, and then set the remaining cards below. Okay, very good. Now, we want to randomly arrive at one of these piles, but we want it to be the result of random choices by the 2 of us. So, for example, I need you to just put your finger on 2 of these piles. Now, you can choose which ones they are. Then from those 2 piles, I'll randomly discard one of them. Okay, so you're not here, so I'm going to have to just kind of play your part. So let's say you put your fingers right here. There's this one and this one. And then I would say, let's see, maybe I'll get rid of that one. Now it's my turn. Let's see, maybe I'll put my fingers on these 2. Which of these 2 do you want me to get rid of? The bottom one? Okay, now we're down to just these final 2. So you would have your fingers here, and maybe I'll get rid of the left one. Okay, very good. So that leaves us with a packet of 4 cards, okay? And if you think about all that was done to arrive here, I think you would have to agree that really no one could possibly know what these cards are. But despite that, I actually have a written prediction off to the side, believe it or not. as to what I thought would happen here. Okay, let's take a look at it. The final pile will consist of aces. Oh boy. I don't know what you think the chances are that that would happen by chance. So let's just go ahead and take a look. So I'm claiming these are ace. Oh golly. Okay, well, that's not an ace. That's a queen. Okay, we got one ace. That's good. Two aces. Okay, not too bad. Oh boy, that's not bad at all. We got three aces, and then we got this queen of hearts that's kind of in the way, right? What's that? Oh yeah, there's more here. So the final pile will consist of aces, three of them. Well, that's true. Plus, I think that's plus what? The queen of hearts. That is unbelievable. How could this have possibly been written before all of the randomization and random choices made not only by both of us, but also the random cards that were brought to the top of those four piles, which we then used their names to mix each one of those independently of the other. Okay, well, let's talk about that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just kind of give you highlights so that the video doesn't get too long. But the setup is to have whatever four cards you want to reveal in the end at the top, okay? And then all you have to do is preserve those through as many riffle shuffles as you like. Now, preserving four at the top is not too hard, okay? Yeah, a little bit of practice, you'll be able to do that just fine. Or any other false mixing that leaves the top four alone. Okay, so if you think about it, if these are on top, in fact, maybe I'll even put them face up so we can kind of see what's going on. And then I'm dealing 7 additional cards on top. So maybe I'll just do it to one of them. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have this. We'll have these 4 piles of 8 cards each. 2, 4, 6. Yep. Okay. And then what we did was we used the identity of the randomly dealt out card, which is actually true. That top card of those piles of 8 were random cards. No one was controlling those, okay? The truly powerful principle that's making all of this work is something called HyperCOATing. Coding is capital C-O-A-T. It stands for count out and transfer. Okay, so that's some mathematical vocabulary that we use in card magic. So a HyperCOATing is where you go through the whole packet, plus maybe a little bit more, but not through the whole packet more than twice. Okay, so for example, we have 8 cards here, right? The longest card name has 15 letters in it, something like Queen of Diamonds. So what that means is if I spell out Queen of Diamonds, not only will I go through the packet more than once, I won't go through it more than twice. Okay, and that's called a HyperCOATing. Well, if you do that, so we'll go ahead and just spell this one here. If you do that, the bottom card is a fixed point for that mixing. So the bottom card of a packet of cards that's hypercoded is a fixed point. It goes back to where it was. So for example, 5 of spades. F-I-V-E-O-F-S-P-A-D-E-S. 5 of spades. Okay, so you can just see how that bottom card returned to the bottom. And that will be true for any one of the 52 card names for each of these 4 piles. So where we had our 4 special cards at the bottom, spelling out any of those card names, we'll leave it at the bottom, okay? And then from there, it's completely self-working. You stack those 4 piles randomly, and then you do this flip down, flip down. You're flipping over every other card, starting with a flip of the first one. Discard those, and then from there, our special cards, our aces, and our queen will have 3 cards between them. So if you do an even up jog and strip those cards out, we'll have even position cards on the left, odd position cards on the right. Now where your special cards will be will always be in the odd position cards. So when we go through the one on the left, that pile of 8, our special cards are not even there. So in some sense, we don't care about them, but we do divide them into 2 piles of 4 each. over here is where our aces lie, and so you do the eve and up jog one more time, set those cards aside, retaining the odd position cards, and that's where you'll find your 4 special cards. Here, the 3 aces and the queen of hearts. Okay, now you just follow the sequence of steps that I showed you in the video. This will work perfectly. And then you can finish with any 4 cards that you would like. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.